The home builder supplies up over my target of 24. Why I wouldn't have sold this week had I got in. I should have, in hindsight, looking back, knowing I wasn't going to have time to watch the market, knowing that anything under 20 I thought was a good buy, I should have just held, or at least put the limit order back to buy at 1950 and not 19, and just lick my wounds that I didn't get in at 19. I couldn't have got in at 19 anyway. So you can see in the last 5 days we got a 14% jump. Why I'm not a seller is because I think this week would be up for the week. I wasn't expecting this, till like maybe Thursday. Potentially we have more growth coming Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So what I would have done in this situation is put a stop limit order. Stop limit order says, hey, sell if it gets down to a certain price. So I probably would have locked in at 24.50, hoping that it would climb. So if it goes to 27, I'll lock it back in at 25.50. Goes up to 28, 29, I lock in my stop limit back at 27, 28, and I just keep following it up. So again, the stop limit says if this thing gets down below a certain price, and that line right there is showing the average price throughout the year. It's baseline, so it's over that baseline here. But I think I would just follow this with the stop limit because I do think it's going to keep going up. I'm thinking more like 40 at the end of the year. Why I think it's okay to hold till 40 is if you look here at the 52-week low, we at 19 I would have been 2 cents above the low set back on the 14th, and the high here is 127. So potentially it could go up to 30, 40 and still be less than half of its highs. The only thing I'm concerned about is the Fed. The Fed's going to look at this Dow market. Look at this Dow jump from the 21st till now. I don't think the Fed's going to be happy with big jumps like that and want to see the market go down. They don't say that. They say it where you have to read between the lines, but basically they want to slow down the growth of the stock market and increase the unemployment range, increase the price of houses so people will stop buying, slow down the buying of houses. He's going to keep raising rates until he sees that. So that's the bottom line with that. So you have the home builders up 14% over the last 5 days. This tech fund is up almost 20%. Okay, from the last 5 days. The semiconductors is up 28% over the last 5 days. And now it shows 4% on biotech, 10% on the small cap, 5% on the mid cap. But let's look at this a little bit further. What it doesn't do is look at the low. It's not showing us the low. So the low being 1901. Some of the things I track here is this one here, for example, nail on the top here row. The low is 1901. We're up 35% since the 21st, 36% since the 21st. Its low is 36%. You could have got into this fund back when the pandemic started. You could have got in at 476 and be up 400%. So these are all times. And we're down 80% from its high, so that's why I think it's still a good buy. 42 is the last high it really had, down 38%. So I think we got room to grow to get back up to the high 30s, 40 range in near-term future. Take a look at, here is my favorite one again is the semiconductors. We could have been in at 720 this on the 21st, which would be a 30% jump, that's huge for 3 days. 51% if you would got this back, you would have already got 50% if you would have bought this on the 14th, just 1 week ago, and you could have got into this for $2.69 back in the pandemic. The small cap fund, 29 is the low. That was an 18% jump in the last 3 days, 31% jump since the 14th. You got the tech fund, 22% jump from its low, still 43% off its highs. So I think these things have room to grow. 44% off just since the 14th, and 500% up if you would have bought this back in the pandemic. This one actually is one of my more favorite ones. I haven't talked about that, but it's an internet fund, basically. They have a lot of tech funds, so I'll cover this some other time, but I bounce back and forth between this so I can do washes if I got losses. You can, it's virtually being able to buy the same thing or something that mimics what I've done here. And that's why I bounce back between this, and this, because they're all text, as well as this lab fund. So the lab fund here up 20% just in the last 3 days, 76% jump on. I don't think that was the 14th though. I don't think I got that right. So, and I didn't mark this apparently, which would be the same. Something doesn't seem right there, so I'll have to go double check that. Anyways, these are other funds I'm following, but I'm just covering what I have told you guys since the last video, which is, I guess, this one here is the one that's probably one I should have bought and held. All right, so there's the lessons for today.